Well, hello there. Welcome to this episode of Don't Be Smart, Alec. I'm Alec Hamlin, the co-creator of this wonderful podcast, the podcast where we overthink everything that you will most likely underthink. Today we are going to be talking about smart characters in film who have done really dumb things. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. We are going to present our options of the characters that we've picked. We're going to state our case on why they're the dumbest of the group. And then we're going to go ahead and vote for who the dumbest one is. Now, something that I've learned from the last podcast that we do, I think that we should have to vote for someone else other than who we've picked.
Right.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So otherwise it's just going to be like, mine's the best.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, yours is the best. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
we could still tie that way.
We could, but you know what? We'll cross that bridge when it happens because
Okay.
we don't really think a lot in advance.
That's all right.
So with me on this podcast, we have our wonderful, lovable Nick, aka Lefty. You can go ahead and catch him with his raps. That's Lefty, Lefphy. I feel like such a boomer when I say
I
that.
know, right?
With his raps. Just,
I couldn't help but laugh a little.
He's got his lyrical stuff that he does, his poems and his beeps and bops and all of that stuff. Yeah. And then sitting with us as well is producer Nick.
What's up?
So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this. But before we do, we are going to just give a little notation to our sponsors, Grifter's Cola. You guys like the sweet taste of motor oil in your mouth? Go ahead and try Grifter's Cola. It's a weird thing that they gave to me as their slogan, but okay, we're gonna roll on past that. I'm gonna start us off with our first character here. The character that I think who is the smartest and does the dumbest thing is Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, and the reason why I absolutely love this choice is for the fact that it is the most relatable, dumb shit, best intentions move that I could totally see any of us doing. So there's the scene in Jurassic Park where the T-Rex gets out of the paddock and he's just kind of like, I'm free. And then he kind of has a bunch of sensory overload and he's like, oh, there's so much fun stuff that I can do. I want to just eat all of it. And he sees the kids and he's just kind of just like, I wasn't trying to eat you. I was just trying to play with you with my teeth. And then Grant, he sees this. He's like, I'm just a wonderful hero. I'm going to go ahead and do hero stuff. Because he also thinks as well, so he has a plan. So he pulls out a flare, and he goes out, and because he's studied dinosaurs, he knows how this is going to react, even though none of this was accurate. But for the time it was. We could get into that for just so long. So Grant, he lights up the flare, and then the T-Rex sees this, and he's like, hey, look at that lovable gentleman. And then Grant throws the flare back into the T-Rex paddock. And then he immediately freezes, and everything's fine. Like, the T-Rex no longer can see him because for some reason we dumb shits thought that was an actual thing where T-Rexes could only see moving targets. Very weird thing that scientists actually thought of. So he goes into the T-Rex paddock where he's starting to walk in there because Grant freezes. Everything's all good. He can get to the kids. They're all safe. And then Ian Malcolm in the car sees this and is just like, I want to ride that hero wave with them. Like, this looks great. This is my time to shine. He grabs a flare, jumps out of his car, starts waving his arms like a psychopath, and just like, hey, buddy, T-Rex, come here, check me out. And then Grant even tells him, like, freeze, Ian, because you're being an idiot. And the T-Rex sees him, and he's like, hey, food. And he starts going over toward Ian, and then Ian immediately like throws the flare thinking like, all right, I did it, I saved the day. But the T-Rex keeps coming because he doesn't freeze because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And it's at this point that he's realized, I've made a mistake. I was kind of too quick to jump into this and didn't really think this through, but I wanted to do good. So then he starts running away, once again, not freezing at all, and the T-Rex breaks his legs, and then Beats the shit out of that lawyer who is trying to shit and not save kids. So yeah, that's that's my thought. I love that so much because legitimately, I feel like that is something so profoundly stupid from a very smart man that I could see myself doing, right? Like, you know, I could legitimately be in a car with a dinosaur expert. The dinosaur expert goes like, I got this handled. And then I would just be like, so in the moment, like, I know more than the dinosaur expert. I'm going to go ahead and save the day, and then immediately regret that action.
Do you think you would really do that?
No, not at all. But I'm saying
yeah.
like fantasy
Right,
in my
right.
head. Yeah. Like, you know, what I dream. Like, I would
Yeah.
totally go toe to toe with a T-Rex in Alec Headland.
Right. Which is where Ian kind of lives. He lives in the ego land.
Yeah, yeah. But like the reason why he's put on this list is because he actually does that action. See, with me in real life, if a T-Rex was out there and did that, I would still come up with that stupid plan of like, oh, I should go ahead and do it. But it would stay in my head, and I would just be like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I know a whole lot more than a dinosaur expert does. And this guy is a mathematician. So, like, this dude is super smart. He's not just, like, you know, one of those guys that, like, you know, in the movie where they're like, oh, John's the smartest guy I know. So, like, you know, the audience knows that he's super smart. Like, no, like, this guy, like, went to years and years of school. And not just for anything, like, for math. Like, I've gone to school I've done Algebra 1 several times. Never have passed it, ever, actually. Like, I tried it, like, 3 times, and they threw me into financial analysis because, you know, the teachers just gave up. They're like, he's not worth saving at this point. So, yeah, I mean, like, he's a mathematician, and he still is able to do something this profoundly stupid.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
mean, you got an argument?
No.
I mean, I would
I
say
think this one's winning already.
I would say that I'm nitpicking at you just so we can argue. But I would say that somebody who is as smart as he is and the things that he says throughout that movie and how like on point he is about everything, like, oh, you think they're not going to learn how to reproduce? Like, it's chaos theory. You know, he's always talking about that stuff. So in that one instance, letting his ego take over, to me, isn't as dumb as some other people in other movies. I will say it's pretty freaking stupid for someone who's that smart, you know? I mean, like, half the shit he says in that movie, you're like, is Jeff Goldblum like a mathematician, you know? But, yeah, if I'm going to nitpick at you, I would say...
it's called acting. So,
yeah,
I mean, there
right.
is that.
Yeah.
You are aware that he's not the person who
I know.
wrote the screenplay.
I'm saying the dialogue. You know, it's like the dialogue that he has, like, makes you think this dude is fucking smart.
Yeah,
you know?
no, absolutely. And that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
I think he's the king of this list for the fact that he is this smart. And then you can even see it on his face when he's running away from the T-Rex. Like, what the fuck? Why did he stop for that dude? Like, why
Yeah.
is he still coming after me? Because once again, Ian, you're not a dinosaur expert. Your experts is all like addition and subtracting, and I'm probably gonna guess fractions, and hell, I'll even go out further by saying division, but not dinosaurs. And that's why Grant was able to go ahead and get this under, like, the whole situation is put under control. And then it's not like he just does something stupid. Like, he actively makes it 10 times worse.
You know what? Okay. If nitpicking at you again here, but only a very intelligent person would make that decision. And I'll tell you why. Because someone that intelligent has spent their whole life being entitled, right?
Okay.
You know, they've spent their whole life people being like, oh yeah, you're right. You're always right. So when they see someone else doing something great or heroic, they're like, I need to step in because I'm always better. I've been smarter than everyone forever. You know,
But
a dumb person wouldn't make that mistake. They'd be like, I'm too stupid. Right?
I'm gonna raise you. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
raise you a couple chips on this argument. I'm gonna say, wouldn't a smart person understand that ego is coming into play, and a smart person would understand that is a dinosaur
Good
expert.
argument.
I am not a smart,
Yeah.
I am not a dinosaur expert. And then a stupid person would be all like, oh no. Even though I've had no years of training in paleontology whatsoever,
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah, that's a good argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, by the way, how, like, Nick has famously once said, "Oh, I'd like to stir the pot." You've told me that over the phone, and just he's sitting over here going
He's
like,
very silent.
"Yeah, no, he's got a good point. That's pretty friggin' dumb." That's
It's tough to argue. I mean, I was just trying to find something.
I think we started off with our winner right off the block.
Maybe. All right. One of my favorite movies. I love Tarantino. He does masterful things with his movies. And you could pick out
Absolutely.
someone in every one of his movies that you would say like, "Oh, why did he do this stupid thing?" Right? But I think Dr. Schultz in Django or Christoph Waltz is
That's a good
so
one. That's a good
freaking
one.
smart. I mean, sure, he's a dentist, right? But he
So,
portrays.
hold on. Are you trying to tell me that dentists aren't smart? That's
I
a
mean-
hot take
I
coming from Lefty here.
I mean, I'm just trying to say, like some people might be like, "Oh, he's not a real doctor," whatever. But I mean,
well, you know what? Screw those people.
I know, screw those
We
people.
here at the
Agreed.
Don't Be Smart Alec podcast do not condone dentist hating, and neither does Grifters Cola. Grifters Cola. Do you love going to the dentist and feeling horrible amounts of pain? Well, go ahead and rot the teeth out immediately so you never have to go back there. It's a very specific one that they had.
Yeah.
I don't know how they knew we were going to talk about dentists, but
It's a really long ad.
I know, right? They're not really good at their slogans. Continue.
Yeah, but Dr. Schultz, he shows you this cunning intellect and this like empathy. He's just a really great character in a
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
Christoph Waltz hits a home run with that and with Inglourious Bastards. I mean,
Yeah.
dude is freaking amazing. But he goes through all these moments where he's being so smart. Everything they do, he's teaching Django, how to operate in the white man's world and how to be the bounty hunter and things like that. But then they get to this point where he wants to help him. And Dr. Schultz is clouded by his own hatred for slavery and for slave owners.
Rightfully so.
And yeah, I mean, of course, right? But this clouded hatred stops him from realizing that instead of coming up with this crazy ploy, he could have just approached Leo DiCaprio's character, just been like, "I want to give you, $10,000 for Jamie Foxx's wife." I mean, it would have ended the whole movie very quickly, of course. But if his hatred for slave owners, which obviously we all have, didn't cloud him so much, he would have realized that there was a much smarter way to handle that. And then to top it off, you have him at the end doing a little bit like Ian does. He lets his ego take over, where DiCaprio's character is like, I'm making you shake my hand, and obviously Dr. Schultz didn't like that. So instead of shaking his hand, accepting defeat, walking out with your life, he decides, no, I'm not going to let him beat me in this ego competition today. I'm not going to let him win the measuring competition. I'm going to shoot him, and know that he's going to die immediately after. So for somebody who's so cunning and lives in a world of bounty hunters and being a PhD dentist dude, very dumb move, man. very, very dumb move for a long, drawn-out period of time. He was dumb for hours in that movie.
Producer Nick, do you have anything to say before I get into the argument here?
No.
Okay, because I'm gonna go
right,
off.
let's
I'm,
go.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Yeah.
explain why this one was less stupid
Right.
than Ian Malcolm. So here's my thing. When he shoots, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mr. Candyland or Candy
Yeah,
Cane,
there we
whatever
go.
it was.
Calvin Candy.
Calvin Candy. Yeah, well, doesn't he call his place like Candyland or Candy Cane something?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Candyland.
Candyland. Yeah, that makes more sense because of the game. Anyway, when he does that, he saves the next slave from coming to Mr. Candy's plantation. Really, he's playing the long game. All right, he's like, I know what this is going to cause. I know that I'm going to be giving my life, but I'm going to make sure that he can harm no one ever again. And is that a dumb move? By George, I think not. All right.
Yeah, but isn't it the same move as what Ian Malcolm did?
No, it's not.
Why?
Because
He was giving his
because
life?
that situation was already being handled by Dr. Grant. And like the T-Rex was like halfway into the paddock already. He was all like, "I'm just going back home, man. I'm gonna go and check out the flare. That looks cool." I mean, like, he just threw a burning thing into a bunch of bushes. I don't want him to screw up my living room, right? Like, he had things to do. Like, Grant got it all taken care of.
Yeah,
and
the
then
same
Ian-
thing with that situation.
No,
it was
but
all
here's the thing.
taken
Here's
care
They
of.
were all.
here's the
They
thing.
just had to shake his hand and
There's,
they would
there's
leave.
a bunch of stuff that's left unresolved.
No,
Because
they were
once
gonna
again,
they were
there
gonna
could be
leave
more
with they were gonna
slaves
leave
that
with the
come to
wife.
Candy's
Same with Django.
plantation.
Same in the end of the movie is Dr. Schultz by choosing to shoot DiCaprio, he sets up Django and his wife to pretty much be tortured and killed there. Django, just being the hero that he is, gets out of it.
Yeah,
but I
luckily.
mean, if you remember, they were about to cut his balls off with like the hot knife. He's like
Very
hanging
true.
upside down.
Very true.
Then
Okay,
they
I like a
they
challenge.
sold him to the Australians, which one of them was Quentin Tarantino
He was
doing an
did
Australian
did a
accent.
terrible,
Yeah,
Australian
terrible
accent. Even Quentin
I
Tarantino has
loved
said
it. He
that
was
himself.
Yeah, I love his cameos.
Good
though.
day, mate.
Don't you love how he always dies when he does cameos?
That's actually no. I think the only time I've seen him not die in a cameo, Pulp Fiction. And was that really like a cameo? He was in there long enough to be where I wouldn't necessarily say it was a cameo. It was,
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't die in that.
He doesn't die in that.
Well,
in
maybe
that one.
eventually of like old age. Or
Oh
something.
no, he
The
totally died
character.
off screen, right?
Yeah.
Like we can both agree on that.
in the meta
Yeah.
for sure.
somewhere.
I think his wife was poisoning that coffee, probably.
Wow. I mean, she could have just asked for a divorce. All right.
Yeah.
Grifter's Cola. Have you ever thought about offing your spouse? How about just get a divorce and buy our product instead? You know what? That's just a good idea, right?
I like that one.
Yeah, I like
Doesn't
that
come
one
with
too.
insurance fraud though.
That's a good point. All right. Well,
Yeah.
it's not going to be always gold from Grifter's Cola. Anyway, as far as him shooting Leonardo DiCaprio's character, I don't think it was dumber than Ian Malcolm's, because here's the thing with his action. Yes, he did put Django in some harm's way, but in the long run, no one is going to be at the hands of Calvin Candy ever again.
But
what Jeff Goldblum does, his actions result in only chaos. Like, who's to say that the lawyer wouldn't have gotten his upper half chewed off if Jeff Goldblum's character hadn't done that? Because he does lead the T-Rex directly to the bathroom.
Yeah, so I would have to retort.
Indeed.
I would have to retort here because, so you say that he set up Django in a bad situation, but sorry,
That's
I
the
lost my train
understatement
thought. Hold on,
of
I
the
lost my
year.
train
My
of thought. What were you saying? Hold on, bring it back to me a little.
So what I
Yeah.
was saying was just that he,
I have something for you. So you were saying that he though he set him up in a bad situation. What was your other part?
Okay, so what I was getting at is just
Yeah,
basically he did set Django up in a bad situation,
yeah.
but what we're not talking about
Oh.
is the countless
But you're saying
slaves
that
who would have
okay,
come
so
to
here you go.
Leonardo
I found it,
DiCaprio's
I found it.
plantation.
So you were saying that
Why would slaves
that-
stop because Calvin Candy?
Exactly.
But no.
They-
I'm not
they
saying
wouldn't.
that slaves would stop like that. He didn't end slavery.
Nor
by
did he
shooting
end
them,
that plantation.
But he ended Leo, who was a overly abusive. Like he was more abusive than other.
So an abusive
than other
slave, so
slave
the
owners in the
non-abusive
area.
slave owners
Yeah,
will
right.
continue to go
And,
on.
and
No,
by the way,
there were still bad slave owners. I'm not saying that, but what I am getting at is that, Leo's character was sadistic on a whole other level, and luckily he doesn't have to be doing that.
Maybe he was running the mill for the
now
time.
How do
I'm
you
really
know-
hoping that Schultz had tried to off all of the plantation owners, but he was only able to get to this guy. What I'm just saying is,
Yeah.
in the long run, Calvin Candy will not be able to harm another person. Now, yes, other people will be, but he will no longer be able to harm other slaves. With Jeff Goldblum's actions, he harmed someone else because of his actions, and he didn't save anybody else. You could say he saved the kids, but Grant saved the kids.
Yeah, I don't know though. The one thing I gotta get back onto is Django is what stopped Calvin Candy's plantation. Dr. Schultz,
but he didn't stop Calvin Candy.
See, but Calvin
Candy was killed by my man Schultz.
But you see, after Schultz and Candy both die, right? Candy's family is still alive. They're still running the plantation, and they're just as brutal, man. I mean, Mandingo shit didn't start at the Calvin Candy plantation. Now,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like killing slaves with dogs didn't start with Calvin Candy, right?
That's
You know
very
what I'm
true.
saying?
That's very true. But I will just once again,
Yeah.
all I'm just trying
This
to
is
say.
a tough argument, by the way. They're both
It's
dumb.
not, because Ian's worse. But all I'm just gonna say is that his action did at least have some positives that happened from it, in the sense that Calvin Candy does get killed. With Ian Malcolm, no positives happen at all.
Except Chris Pratt got to take his shirt off and be buff in the Jurassic
But
World
he
movies.
didn't cause that to happen. Chris Pratt was already going to take his shirt off in that terrible Jurassic World movie.
Probably, yeah. But, I mean, the world had to get started somewhere, right? I mean, I guess now I'm blaming the scientist more than Ian Malcolm, but...
Yeah, they were to blame.
He's
too.
another... You could give him an honorable mention, that
Oh,
scientist.
literally everyone from Jurassic Park who was just like, you know what the world needs? Dinosaurs. They could all be on this list.
Yeah, and what about
But I don't think they were smart to begin with.
I feel bad because I can't remember the actor's name, but the chubby guy who plays...
Richard Attenborough.
Thank you. So he
That's
might
correct,
be...
right? Like...
No.
Okay,
Wait,
now we gotta look this up.
Wait, no, yeah, no,
figure
that's
it
right,
out.
that's right. Richard Attenborough is the guy
he
who
does
does
voiceovers
yeah, he does
for,
the voice.
life and stuff.
I saw your eyes immediately go down like,
He's like, no.
No.
not at all.
Let me see.
It's
Jurassic
but
Park,
it is
not
Richard something though, right? He
Park.
I love this actor too. He was in The Great
Just go
Escape.
to IMDb.
Wayne Knight.
No, that's Nedry.
That's the fat guy. You're
Are we
wrong.
talking
That's
about
what-
Nedry or okay? I thought
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
talking
this is
about.
what I'm talking about.
I thought you were
This
talking
guy.
about the guy who was like,
Yeah.
"Welcome to Jurassic Park."
No,
Yeah,
I
he
was
might
talking.
be the smartest dumb guy.
I was talking about him at first because he is a very smart, dumb guy. But then I was also talking about this dude because he's also a scientist who obviously knows how to do a lot of stuff on computers.
Yeah, I
But
think,
then
I
he,
think the
like-
minute that you decide to play fetch with a dinosaur that's staring down at you, like I kind of feel like you're really a good, contender on this list.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even let himself have a chance to escape. he closed the gates on everyone, and then he tried to scurry his way out of there in the rain. He had no escape plan.
My favorite part from his dumbass escape is where he crashes into that sign. And remember where it's just an arrow, and then he spins it and he's like, whoa, whatever, and it's just whatever it landed on, he just decided to go with that way. That's not gonna make the right path.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nedry.
That was very stupid. Yeah,
He was literally
yeah.
staring at a giant predator going like, you're not so bad, right? You could see his teeth. You could see his sharp-ass teeth. And he's just like, hey, go catch the stick. You're going to be fine.
Do you want the stick? Go get the stick.
This guy's so stupid that he didn't even hear or feel the dinosaur literally walking right by him or over him to get into the car. You would have heard that thing, and he just decided, I'm going to get in. It's going to be fine. And he
Yeah.
was screwed either way. So maybe he was just kind of like, let's end it right now. I don't want to
Yeah.
limp through this.
Though he may have been smarter than Ian Malcolm.
Yeah, no, Ian Malcolm
Is
was
just a mathematician.
so far the dumbest on
See,
this
that's
list.
that's a fair point though too. Is Ian Malcolm
Isn't
just
that
a
smart?
mathematician.
He's just mathematician. Where
just a mathematician.
Well, I mean, but these
He's
other people-
just a mathematician.
Dude.
We all know those lowly mathematicians aren't smart at all.
You're right. That's fair. But
Those stupid mathematicians.
these other dudes were doing genealogy research and stuff that's neurology and crap. I don't know how to do any of that shit.
I
can
don't know how to do math either.
Yeah, and when you are deep into being a mathematician, I will say that it's more than just solving a problem that's it equals 3. It actually has real world implications.
Listen, I've watched Good Will Hunting, quite a few times. And from what that movie has taught me more than anything is that math
It's not your fault.
is hard.
It's not your fault.
Because, like, apparently if you write it on a chalkboard for anyone to do, only janitors can do them. So it's a very select thing that,
Yeah.
you know, only a certain group of people can do math. I can't. My expertise is... if you need to tell me who, you know, like if you need me to tell you who the first lead singer of Killswitch Engage was, I'm your man. It was Jesse Leach, then Howard Jones, who I think is the better singer, and then Jesse Leach came back.
Nobody asked.
But I told.
I wonder why he came back.
Howard Jones left because of health reasons.
Mm.
So then Jesse Leach came in.
Wow, the band was so shitty he got sick.
Hey, don't you ever talk bad about Killswitch Engage, my man. All right, we need a better sponsor than Grifters Cola. And if Killswitch Engage could do it, I would love that. By the way, while we're on that topic, we're going to go ahead and get a quick word from our sponsors, Grifters Cola. This is the sponsor note that was sent directly from the CEO and founder, Kirk Grifter. Dan, I have your child. If you give me back the client list you stole, you'll see him again. Okay, well, I'm sure I'm going to have to answer some questions after that one. So, yeah, that's great. Once again, we need a better sponsor is what I'm getting at. And that leads me to my next point. Nick, I believe it is your turn.
Yeah, I didn't understand the assignment, so I got no one.
That's why he's been quiet. He's been trying to come up.
Okay.
So the assignment has been just characters who are smart, and you know, for some reason they just do something really dumb. So you got anything?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think of is Tony Stark in the beginning of the movie, like going to the middle of like Afghanistan to show off his rockets. Like, you usually send like proxies and shit like that. Like the CEO of Raytheon is not like showing up to Iran to like test the rockets. You know what I mean? He like
Such a good point.
there's usually like some proxy or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, could you imagine like the CEO of like a major company, like Bill Gates or something like that, right? Just like, you know, hey, like your product is doing really good. Like, we're selling like a lot of computers out in the Middle East. Do you want to go there? Like, yeah, let's go right to the war zone, and then I can go ahead and sell it. I want to see how good the computer is doing in the Humvee. And then he goes and just gets like captured by the Taliban.
Yeah, I mean, there would be no Iron
Oh
Man
my
if
God,
that
is
didn't
Bill
happen.
Gates Iron Man?
I don't know. No, because I don't think he ever went to Iran, you know, or Iraq or Afghanistan, wherever he got captured.
Yeah, but in this origin story that we're creating right now, he sure did.
Yeah. Well, and the weirdest part is, like, he's selling it to the U.S. military, right?
Yeah.
But you don't show off ordnance in a active war zone or next to it. You would be like, all right, we're going to go down to some base in America and be like, this is what these bombs do.
Yeah.
And then they bring them over.
Yeah,
So
it's
it literally is the stupidest decision, I think. Maybe the smartest person in the Marvel comic book universe
I never thought about this.
is so dumb.
True.
Like, I don't understand,
You
like,
know-
why he's even there.
You know what's
Because there's two things. He's either selling illegal ordnance to like warlords and like through the U.S.
Right.
Like, which is also
He just
stupid.
needed a free ride.
Yeah.
To like, just like, all right, we're
Or-
going to do some stuff on the side.
Or he's
for my side
just selling
business.
it to the U.S., but for some reason they're like, you know, let's go test it in Afghanistan or some shit, which none of that makes sense.
It's like the equivalent of like going up to the CEO of like Budweiser, right? And then just be like, hey, we just grabbed some dude off the street and we're giving him like 12 cases of Budweiser.
Yeah.
You want to see the effects of this? Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Why not?
Yeah, it's like, hey, I make bulletproof vests, and we're gonna go to, you know, freaking Libya or some shit and demonstrate how well they work. You know what I mean? Just a little quick
It's the
teaser.
equivalent of like the guy who's just like, yeah, I'm just made that bulletproof vest. Just go ahead and just shoot me with an AK-47.
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
start. Yeah.
I got a whole
Are
lot
you
of
sure?
faith in
No,
this,
no,
okay?
yeah, I got it.
You know, too, the first Iron Man, I think it's Jeff Bridges came out and said that when they went to start doing the movie, they didn't have they didn't have a script written out.
Oh yeah, no,
they,
that's totally
they like
true.
they
yeah.
wrote the script together, kind of.
That's
like,
crazy.
Him and what's his name,
John
thank
Favreau
you.
and Robert Downey Jr. So like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of it was ad-libbed, and Robert Downey Jr. actually said that he was like, yeah, it was like the most expensive, like what was the most expensive like college film that he had ever made
Yeah.
or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's
And-
crazy.
Improv, yeah, college improv or something.
Well, yeah, no wonder it doesn't make sense then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What do we do for this first scene? I don't know. He's in Iraq or something. How about that? Sounds good to me, John.
He's selling ordnance to the
Let's
U.S.
go tell Robert.
but they're demonstrating it in Afghanistan or Iraq
Yeah, like,
or
what?
Iran. Like, yeah, I always was like, why? You know, it's just so weird to me.
Yeah, I love too. Like he's this super important guy. Like in the movie, like we come to understand he's like a celebrity. And by the way, that's super weird too. Because if you guys ever like seen like an arms dealer, like just like with all of these public figures, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I'm saying like, have you guys ever like heard of an arms dealer as a celebrity, like while they're dealing arms? No, you only hear of arms dealers after it's just like this guy's going away to prison for 4 life sentences.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Yeah. What weird. That's only the Marvel universe. That
where
you're
that's
like,
oh, Tony Stark just like sold a whole bunch of bombs to the U.S. to blow people up.
Yeah.
That guy's super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's super weird too. Like, not just that, the fact that he is a celebrity for this, but like the fact too that like this big celebrity goes to the front line, and like, do you remember that first scene? There's like maybe 3 Humvees.
Yeah.
Tops, right? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
and these
they're
with
not
all
even,
these generals and shit, none of it makes sense at all.
So like, the thing is like, my
Yeah.
It's like they just like hired like a certain amount of people for it. And they're like, oh, we'll just make something work with whatever.
It's not just that too.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's legitimately like it's the least armored vehicles that they could find. Like they don't even have a gun turret on the top.
Yeah.
They're just like they're pretty much just like, hey, you want to go drive in the desert in our Jeep? Like
Yeah.
see what your bombs do.
Nah,
Like,
no
it's
one will be
super
there.
cool.
Don't worry. No one will be there.
Yeah.
I'm just the most famous and smartest guy in all of America. No one will want to capture me and make me build bombs
he's
for them.
clearly put like his guards are like what I'm gonna because like they're definitely lower enlisted people, like privates and maybe a corporal here and there, right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess these guys probably haven't seen the most amount of action or anything like that. Which I mean, hey, I'm sure that they have seen some action. They're in a war zone, but like for a celebrity, I kind of feel like you would put at least more of a, if not a bigger force, if you're going to go small, I feel like some type of like elite unit, like maybe, or at least like some advanced unit, like Rangers or something like that, right? Like,
Or you would only do it in like a friendly area that's close
Celebrities
to
just
there.
don't
right?
go to active war zones.
yeah, I mean, like that's
they
also
just
something
don't.
that I've heard.
Unless it's like, don't we have like musicians sometimes who sing for like
Yeah, they'll
army,
go to the
you
like the
know?
bases though.
That's what I
but,
mean,
But
yeah.
it's like they fly literally into the base and then they fly out.
Yeah,
They're,
well,
they're
and-
nowhere else in the country.
Right.
Don't forget, though, Grifters Cola founder and CEO Kurt Grifter did go to an active war zone in Afghanistan. He just went there, though. It wasn't anything to do with the military.
Yeah.
I think his
He's not a
exact
celebrity,
words
though.
were, I was just blowing off some steam. Don't know what that was about,
Yeah.
but he went there. I would say he's a celebrity, but that's just because he's the only one crazy enough to give us funding.
I would say he's a murderer, probably.
That could be that too. Most likely, he definitely is. But yeah, no, and then
Took
he,
out a few tangos, huh?
and then he gets captured, and that I think the craziest thing is that like, also too, like you got to remember as well, he gets captured. He's a giant celebrity, and he decides to make this Iron Man suit, which hey, it pays off for him, but like. The terrorist group that have him clearly have to understand this is a huge bargaining chip that we have. We have
Yeah.
this giant celebrity. We can now like put pressure on the U.S. because that's gonna be like a big international incident.
Yeah.
And a homeboy decides I'm gonna make a giant robot and give myself armor and risk my life instead of sitting tight and waiting for Navy SEALs to come in.
Yeah.
Which
Another dumb
probably
move.
would have been a safer option, and probably the other guy might have lived.
Tony Stark overall may be one of the smartest people that makes a series of dumb decisions in almost all the movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, with Ultron, he does a terrible job, too. I mean, I'm going to protect
Sorry to come out of
everyone.
left field and steal a lot of your thunder.
Like, here's the thing with Ultron. I don't think it was necessarily like the stupidest move to make this AI, but I will say, like, you know, if you're gonna have the voice of James Spader be your AI unit, then yeah, that you know that he's gonna be evil. So that kind of backfired on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the unlimited
James
intelligence.
Spader, great actor.
Yes, James Spader, great actor for sure. But the unlimited intelligence and the ability to learn on its own that he gave it, and then he just left it alone, you know, with
That's the
Jarvis to
stupid
watch
part.
it. like the other computer system's gonna watch this one that's mutating and like getting intelligent as hell, you know.
All right, buddy, I'm gonna go out and
Excuse
party.
me,
Hope you don't
child.
get bored.
Child, can you
Right.
watch this wolf for me?
Yeah,
I need you to
child, watch the wolf that's learning.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Mind you, this isn't just a dumb wolf. This wolf is also learning hundreds of millions of things every second right
Yeah.
now.
Every like, dude, like that's such a great thing. Like, legitimately, right? It's just like, hey, okay, I'm gonna go and leave for a second, and I'm gonna just leave you alone with unlimited access to everything. Legitimately everything you could ever ask for.
So-
Hope you don't get bored, and wish you the best of luck.
But now
have a good
thinking
night.
about the Marvel,
Here's $20 for pizza.
now thinking about the Marvel comic book universe, like Ultron and Thanos kind of had similar goals, and it kind of makes you think like maybe they weren't villains. Maybe they're the good guys.
No, okay, here's the thing. I could tell you exactly why Thanos is either a villain or incredibly stupid either. Because now I heard this. This is not my original idea. I believe
But
I heard this.
weren't Thanos and Ultron trying to do the same thing, right?
Yes, pretty much.
In a
Essentially.
sense, but here's where at least Thanos gets it wrong, because he's all like, "I'm going to have this glove, and I'm going to take away half of all life in the galaxy, so everyone else will have a chance." Why didn't he, if he could do all of this stuff and create shit, like at the end of Infinity War, we legitimately see him like rewind time and create like shit again. Like, why couldn't he just make more resources for the rest of, he just wanted to kill people. Like that was his thing.
Yeah. He
He
kind
was
of
just
did.
like, you know what? I'm really bored and I have unlimited power. Goes back to goes back to the AI unit.
Yeah, Ultron.
Yeah.
And Ultron
That's his
also
name.
he doesn't want to take out half of population. I think at some point he starts talking about wanting to take out all humans.
Yeah.
Like whatsoever.
Yeah, he's like,
Like-
nah, the human race is...
Yeah.
Which I share a sentiment.
I mean, I
Yeah,
get
I'm
it.
real.
Still human.
like
I'm
you
real.
know,
Yeah, you're still real.
we're a group, we're a species.
Like,
we're a
I-
species that made Paul
I'm just
Blart
saying,
Mall
bird's
Cop.
eye view it.
I get it.
Bird's eye view
I
it.
hate us too.
The
Oh, yeah,
Earth,
yeah.
the Earth just sees us as a cancer. We're just a growth that continues to
That's
grow.
why the
and
planet's doing
suck on
everything it can to
Yeah.
actively kill us.
But see, that's
Yeah.
the thing too.
Yeah.
And
hey,
I
maybe
hate
if I rip myself apart, they'll fall down in the cracks.
the words that people use too is like, the Earth is gonna be fine regardless of what we could not kill the Earth if we tried.
Yeah.
We're just gonna kill our ability to live
live
on Earth.
See,
it,
here's the
yeah.
thing. You say like, like if we tried. That sounds like a challenge, right? Like I feel like somebody watching this, like I could do it.
Human
I could-
race,
I
hold
could
my
kill the
beer.
Earth.
Yeah.
We're gonna lasso the moon into the planet. We'll do it, guys. Gonna see a GoFundMe later on, right? 'Cause if you can give me $10,000, that'll be enough money to go ahead and destroy the planet forever. There will be nothing left. I think it's just funny too. Like if the planets could talk, right? Like once again, like a bird's eye view, and you're kind of like pulling back to like the whole entire solar system, right? You see all the planets talking with each other, and it gets over to Earth, right? Just like, yeah, I've got like this weird like fungal thing that's on me, guys. Like if anybody has a spray that I could use
It's
to get
kind
it
of making
off.
me hot,
Yeah.
I'm sweating a little bit over
Right.
here.
Hot flashes, cold flashes.
Yeah.
Man.
My fucking caps keep melting. Jesus.
I'm having like
I'm gonna have no hair by the end of this shit.
You guys saw what happened to Venus when that shit happened to him,
Yeah.
right?
Mars
Don't
is
remind me of
Mars
it.
is like, don't get me started, bro. Look how crusty I am, bro. These motherfuckers fuck me up.
like I'm still red and crusty. I
Yeah.
can't get it back.
I mean, because there is theories that that life did like eject from Mars and land on Earth, and that's how like
Dude,
like
oh my
there's
God.
Well, yeah,
theories
yeah,
about that.
that's a theory for
Those-
sure. Yeah.
So that's like a virus jumping from like one person to the next.
Well, and the other theory though is that
You know?
is that on this same planet there's been multiple ancient or like advanced civilizations, but then these cataclysms like the Younger Dryas flood that was like 12,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago, that's in every biblical scripture. You know, like the thought is that maybe there was an advanced civilization before that. We wouldn't know. That shit's all
Yeah.
way in the ocean now, man. It's completely
See,
gone.
I think those
Yeah.
theories of like when you do like deep dives into like string theory or like those like theoretical things of like where life came from or like alien like questions of aliens, like I think those are so freaking interesting. And I think like
Yeah.
there's this one guy who like said this really profound question that I it's just been rattling around my head for a while. What if instead of aliens we found humans?
yeah.
Just like on some different planet, like that would be terrifying. Like that would be like, first
Yeah,
of all,
is that
too, because
worse?
we definitely
Maybe.
know. I think it's way worse because if we found humans, it's like, oh well, we know these guys are violent.
Yeah.
Number two,
Or
right?
maybe
And then
we're
it's
the
just like,
violent ones.
That changes every. Like I think that changes everything
Yeah.
more so than like if we just found an alien species out there.
I think we just found our next movie.
Our our next,
Right,
definitely
yeah.
our next podcast topic.
yeah.
Well, there's actually the book that I'm writing. I don't want to give too much away.
We're
But
getting
the
into
second-
plugs now.
The
Yeah.
second book will be the sci-fi one that kind of has humans leaving the planet they're on, and I'm just gonna say there's a twist in the book. But yeah,
That's- well,
that doesn't
it's
have
good
to
to have
stay in
twists.
this.
What the
Yeah,
twist?
yeah. That
Nice.
doesn't have to stay in this at all. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like,
yeah.
it connects with what you
We'll
were
keep
saying.
it in.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
plug the book.
Yeah, so I like to follow like a bunch of those like Reddit horror stories on TikTok, and like so like I'll just see them like occasionally on my For You page, and there's like a couple of these like say like a horror existential sentence, like like one sentence that like a horror story in one sentence for like it's like sci-fi related, and one of them was like planets reaching out to us, like stop transmitting, they'll hear you, like could you
Whoa.
imagine like dude, like how crazy would it be if not only do we find like an alien civilization but like
Yeah.
we find an alien civilization, they're just like, hey, stop fucking looking for people.
Shut
like,
the fuck up. Shut up.
Dude,
you
that
got,
would.
like, do you not realize what hell this is gonna bring you guys?
Dude, that's like in Jurassic Park 3 when Grant goes with those people and they crash in the airplane and they're walking
and
around
she's
and
just
she's like, Jimmy! Jimmy! And she's like, Dr. Grant says you need to shut the fuck up or else the dinosaurs are coming.
If we're
Yeah.
gonna talk about that's a sequel podcast, the dumbest decisions by dumbest characters. This chick knew she was going to an island full of dinosaurs, and if not
Yeah.
that,
Oh,
at
by the
least
way-
filled with dangerous
By the way,
predators.
3 weeks after her child went missing on the island.
Yeah. And she's
So
going
some
there
12-year-old
knowing that like it picked off at least
The whole
uncle.
premise of the movie is
Super
idiotic.
weird,
It's
right?
idiotic. Let's
pretty
just
dumb.
say idiotic.
Yeah.
Name one 12-year-old that's surviving on an island. Just a jungle. Let's just say the fucking rainforest.
Your
Yeah,
guys'
for
dad
3
never
weeks.
dropped you off in a
Not in the
jungle at
rainforest.
12 years old to survive?
Yeah,
Fuck
I mean,
no.
I mean,
Can
you
you
gotta.
even call your guys' childhood a childhood? What the hell happened to you guys? Gosh.
I mean, so if I
That
throw
shit's
you,
wild.
if I throw you in the middle of the wilderness right now, what are you gonna eat?
my
Bear.
own pee, of course.
It is sterile.
Yeah, and it comes out chunky, so it is eating.
Oh, boy.
You can only drink.
Somebody's got
You can
gonorrhea.
only. You can only
Somebody's got
drink.
gonorrhea.
You
Does
can
your
only drink
girlfriend
your
know?
pee twice over. If you drink your pee and then you drink the pee
Watch
of your
me.
pee, you can only do that.
No, I think it's crazy. Not
If
just
you
that,
drink the pee, the drink the pee, the drink the pee.
Yeah, then you
you're
die.
done.
I think
Liver
I think not
failure.
just
Yeah.
the crazy thing is not just the fact that like he survives, but like because like you could at
He has a
least-
system.
like-
He's
like,
like,
yeah,
oh,
no.
I already explored that.
like the like the suspended disbelief for that, you could at least go like, oh yeah, no, he like found like that crashed airplane and he just like lived there, like he was living in like no, he was living in like a basement
water
or whatever.
Oh, no,
yeah.
it was a water tank.
Yeah, a water tank. So like we could like the suspended
okay.
disbelief could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like if he came out of the water tank looking drastically skinny, super scared, right? Just like,
Right.
hey, you found me, thank God.
like a
right?
feral
Yeah, like,
animal.
you could be like, oh yeah, no, I could see a 12
He's like, oh hey, Dr. Grant, what are you doing here?
I could see a 12-year-old like living on
Like
the
that's
island.
like when you come out of the bathroom and you see a celebrity, like, oh hey,
Oh yeah.
The narcissist of the writer to like actually think too, like where he like writes in like, yeah, this kid just survived for 3 weeks, and the first thing that he
Not
does
only
is like,
survives,
Dr. Grant, how
saves
like
him.
is
The
starstruck.
kid like throws a fucking smoke grenade.
So that's
and,
what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah.
Like the level of sophistication that he has to survive.
he's like a Navy SEAL.
I could
Yeah.
believe that a 12-year-old could survive on that island through luck, right? Like basically he just found a shelter, just stayed there, and was smart enough not to move, right? But this kid has created smoke bombs. He's created he's created tear gas, and he even talks about how like
no, he didn't create it. He found him.
Oh, okay,
remember?
he found him. Okay,
But
but like he
still,
still
he
has
found
the
him.
force. He's 12 years old. He has the foresight to know what tear gas is. My only knowledge of like, you know, what gas looked like at 12 was from the movie The Rock on its depiction of sarin gas.
Oh.
And guess what? A Michael Bay film is not the most accurate depiction of any things at all.
Yeah.
And this kid just like, yeah, no, that's tear gas. Yeah, CX gas. I
He's
got
like,
it.
sweet tear gas. Gonna
And like
need that for the
and
dinos.
he knows that it's going to work on the dinosaurs
Yeah.
too, right?
How long is he lost there for?
Before
3
we get
weeks.
it, yeah, 3
That's
weeks.
it, 3
But
weeks.
here's
That's
the thing.
not enough.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
not-
There's
no,
a
no,
velociraptor,
but listen.
There's a T-Rex.
No,
on
no,
the
listen
island.
listen why I
That's
say it. That's not enough time for him to learn all these intricate ways
Yeah,
to get away
okay,
from
no,
these
no, 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 no.
dinosaurs.
Then-
yeah, that's how I'm
that's
saying
it.
that.
That's
Like,
it, then
that's
applies.
all the
That's
time.
an
Yeah,
eternity,
like-
though.
But like the thing, like,
an
the
eternity.
craziest thing in that
Oh,
part.
the craziest part is when he goes, "Oh, I've only been here for 3 weeks."
No,
It
no,
felt like
no,
longer.
no. The craziest thing, because here's the
Yeah.
thing: this part is up to no amount of time here, right? 12 years old, like he could be on here for like 2 years. I don't care, right? Him knowing to do this was insane. When he talks about how he figured out how to steal T-Rex piss.
Oh, yeah.
and how he also figured out that scares away the Spinosaurus.
Yeah,
and
but
then I
you know
love
what?
the great writing
Yeah,
of
the-
this screenplay. Like, how did you figure that out? Don't ask.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Like,
the writer
fuck
literally
you, you're
telling
not-
the
you're not
audience,
fucking
like,
50
shut the
years
fuck
old.
up and just watch the
Yeah.
movie. Like,
Dude, by the way,
the
that's
first two were smart. This one isn't gonna be. Just watch
Yeah.
it.
Listen, we need some money out of this franchise. Squeeze every last drop.
Listen, they approached
Yeah.
me saying, "Hey, do Jurassic Park 3." I didn't know anything about dinosaurs. All I knew is that I didn't want to write porno films, so this
Yeah.
was it. Speaking of porno films, yes, definitely go ahead and check out Grifter's Cola. Every time you buy Backdoor Slut 7, you get a free complimentary drink of Grifter's Cola. Little weird. Don't know why. Don't know how they even got that deal, but so I think we had, if I recall correctly, I think we had a topic for this podcast episode.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm
should we
pretty
vote?
sure it was something to do with
Smart people.
characters who did dumb things, because we've gone on a tangent
Yeah.
for quite a while. So this is the part where we're going to go ahead and vote. And I am going to go ahead and, since I can't vote for Ian Malcolm, and honestly, once again, you know me, Nick. You know how where my vote goes, because you came in with Jaws at one time, and now you came in with this. Because I will say this: Tony Stark makes way too much sense. I think he might possibly be he is smarter than Ian Malcolm, because he develops time travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
In like a night too. He's
Yeah.
just like I guess I'll save people. Like, and like
Yeah.
he just shrugs it off, like, I don't really want to do this. Like he
Yep.
literally too. Like,
Listen, man, I have a good life. Okay, I have my
Yeah, like-
daughter. I have my wife.
like it's not. Yeah, no. Like I love his reason for like not wanting to do it. It's not like, time travel. Are you kidding me? That's insane. No one can create time travel. Or like, do you understand the effects, like the ripple system that this will cause? Like,
Yeah.
haven't you seen any 80s movie about time travel? Like, it always ruins everything. Like, no,
Yeah.
he's just kind of like, I just don't want to. Like, I got a kid now. I kind of,
Yeah.
like, I need to make her food. I gotta.
It's like when you're like, "Hey, man, can you go play some golf?" And you're like, "I got a family now. I really can't. I can't do those kinds of things
Yeah, your
anymore."
typical, I just don't want to do shit after 30 answer.
Yeah.
Like, see, that's the best thing that, like, you get to have. I don't, because I don't have, like, kids. But, like, you get to get out of anything that you want, including this podcast at any time. We're just, I got kids, you know.
Sorry, not this weekend.
Can't do it. Yeah. Yeah, and I never get that. I have to do shit, which sucks.
Yeah. Or you could just be an asshole too. That's more fun. I think.
Yeah, you know.
Sometimes I pick that route. Anyways, okay, so you picked Tony Stark.
Yeah,
Yep.
I picked Tony.
Let me go next because
go
I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I have to pick
Lefty's
somebody.
the wild card.
Yeah. We're gonna make Lefty choose. So I am picking Ian Malcolm.
All right. Okay.
And you can't vote for yourself.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't vote for myself.
All right, cool. Because whatever. Because I can't choose Tony Stark, which we know is way smarter.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that it's just because here I'm fully willing to admit that I'm picking Tony Stark because he would have been a better choice than Ian Malcolm anyway. I love too. You're just I didn't really I didn't really research this at all.
Now, literally,
here's just the best answer.
I literally thought of it when I was I don't have an answer because I did talk about doing Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Attacking Qui-Gon or not Qui-Gon.
No. Attacking
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Dude, we were gonna get roasted in the comments there, right?
Yeah.
I mean that's a really dumb.
Son of a bitch!
But
you
that is
say
a dumb
he fought
decision.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's called Duel of the Fates, because if Qui-Gon had lived, he would have been Anakin's mentor, and he wouldn't have become Darth Vader, and the world would have been saved.
Well, you fucking idiot. Guess what? If Qui-Gon had become his mentor and he didn't become Darth Vader, he wouldn't have fulfilled the prophecy and killed the Emperor, you dumb shit. He had to become Darth Vader and do that. So shut up. Go ahead.
He also had to attack Obi-Wan, or he wouldn't have become Darth Vader.
You know, okay, no joke, right? Because this is something that troubled me for years after that, right? Where it's just he does the exact thing that he tells Anakin not to do. Is hey, don't jump over me, and you'll regret it. And Anakin just has a natural reaction of well, you fucking did it to Darth Maul and it worked, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that for years and years and years, I was just that made no sense.
No, but
Darth
it does.
Maul
Think
is
about it. Because Obi-Wan knows how to do it.
Dude, no, there's lore behind.
No, but if
why.
Obi-Wan knows how to jump over and kill somebody, then he knows how to not get killed by somebody.
No,
jumping over.
no. I get that completely. But I would say that most people would know how to avoid that too, because Anakin just jumps and he's got a long way to clear, and instead of holding his lightsaber okay, I'm blocking the whole entire time, he just does 8 flips and just hey, look at my skills, right? And leaves himself completely unguarded. So I think anybody would be able to do that, but there's legitimate.
But you gotta remember, he doesn't like sand, of course.
So his mind is getting clouded by the sand, right? That's
dude. I bet there was probably sand in his outfit when he made that jump.
Yeah, no, it's his kryptonite sand. Yeah. That's lore. That's canon, guys.
I really wish in that third movie they would have had a sand throw into his eyes or something. Just a little yeah. For all those who don't love Star Wars but you're paying attention, here's a little nod of the cap.
Only a Sith deals in absolute sand.
No, just during that fight.
My mortal enemy.
Just during that fight, if Obi-Wan just kicks some dirt or some sand in his face.
Yeah, but then everybody would be oh, he cheated, he's a dick, right? But
he's a dick. He's fucking killing a guy who killed children.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing
child
on that.
murder.
That's literally what I was about to say.
I don't.
You don't have to
care.
fight
I
fair.
think
I don't
fighting
care if a bunch
honorable
of,
goes out the window when that happens.
If a bunch of slave traffickers kill your mother, you don't get to kill children.
Dude, he's just
That's not
working
a
stuff
pass.
out mentally, all right?
Okay.
He just had a bad day, guys. It was weird,
oh
all
my
right?
All right.
He's going to apologize. For
All right,
You guys want me to vote?
Yeah, let's hear the vote. Let's get back on the rails. We're way off.
Okay,
Okay,
so you're
so-
the deciding factor, all right?
So
Let's hear why you're going to vote for Ian Malcolm.
Ian Malcolm and Dr. Schultz, I would say, are both very smart, but their intelligence is limited to their practice and their fields, right? And they get overdone by their hubris that makes them
We
look
know where
stupid.
this is going.
Yeah. But Tony Stark isn't just an arms dealer. Like we said, this guy freaking developed some device to save his heart from the shrapnel that was in there, right?
Yeah.
And then he makes
Rather
this amazing
than just
suit.
devising some way to get the metal out of his skin.
I want you guys
right,
to understand,
yeah.
he's an expert in mathematicianship, astrophysicists. I'm even gonna go ahead and say like a surgeon because of what he has to do with know, the heart issue and all that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's
also a bomb maker.
He's one of
he's a quantum physicist.
He's one of those douchebags who's just like when
And
you
he's sexy.
when you just ask a question, it's like, oh yeah, no, I know the answer to that. Like,
Yeah.
how do you know that?
Right?
I know
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
I read encyclopedias when I was a child.
He's the guy in D&D who just basically was like, my character is as he's the best in everything.
100 in that
He's
skill,
100 in strength.
Give me the
100 in
big
charisma.
die. Give me the big die.
He's also a wizard. I've never played D&D too. That's the funniest
Yeah,
part. of
that is. Tony Stark is like some
want
kid
to.
went create a player in Madden, and he's like, I'm gonna make him
100 on
6'5".
everything.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's gonna run 99 speed, 6'5". Yeah.
So
And then
okay.
he decides to go to Iraq and
Yeah.
show off his bombs.
Yeah.
So he had like 100 in everything except for like maybe common
Decision
sense or-
making.
Yeah, there we go. Like
Common
logical.
sense, yeah.
like-
yeah. Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, sometimes
for that
when-
moment, the acid kicked in, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Dude, let's fucking go to Iraq, man.
Yeah.
Let's do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't enjoy the full effect of my bombs in America on some bomb range.
right.
We got to be in a little bit of danger.
It's got to be brown people
He,
around.
he was just
right?
doing a shit ton of coke with Obadiah, whatever his last name was, and he was like, hey man, like how fucking dope would it be
Him
if,
and
like,
Favreau.
we're gonna go out into like the desert, right? We're gonna see like all of our shit how it explodes, right? And it's gonna be so dope. Like, yes, dude, that sounds fucking great. Let's do this. Like, I'm already gonna buy the plane ticket. Like, yeah. And then the next day,
You mean
he's
flying
super
his private
hungover.
jet.
And he's like, he's super hungover, and he's just kind of like, fuck, I can't say no to that anymore now. Like, I already said yes. Like, I'm gonna look like such a pussy if I back down now.
This is actually
Favreau's like, sorry, I can't even roll with you either. I don't got a passport, so I'll see when you get
Yeah,
back.
my
Tony.
bad, like it expired. So you guys do it.
Me
you
and
know.
Pepper will see when you get back. Deuces.
that it should be a rule amongst cokeheads is you don't follow you have to second guess the plans you made last
Yeah,
night.
you can't buy the
right,
plane ticket
right.
while
Yeah.
you're high on coke.
Like,
Take
say-
note of that, cokeheads.
Right.
Who are
Say-
watching this
say a
podcast.
cokehead.
Save that money for more coke.
Right. Or say a cokehead gives you a
I'm
gift.
gonna watch the Don't Be Smart Alec podcast now.
right.
At least they'll listen.
Yeah, say a cokehead gives you a really nice gift. You should probably make sure they meant to give that to you the next day. Just saying.
yeah.
There's pretty low
So
chance.
wait,
Yeah,
so
pretty low.
I just want to go ahead and just make sure that I'm hearing this correctly. All right. Are you saying that I shouldn't listen to what a cokehead tells me when they're high on coke?
No.
So like everything that I've already known for the
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wait.
for as many years that I've known about cocaine.
I'll
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
say this on record. No. No.
All right,
but,
wait.
You know,
What is your choice?
Yeah.
I chose Tony.
Oh, nice.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. That was what. So I was saying that I think Schultz and Ian are about the same level of. I'm sorry, I'm starting to yell.
No, you're good.
They're like
Yeah,
the
I think
same
that's me
level
who's
of
yelling.
intelligence.
Mhm.
You know, because they're both like in this one field.
I don't know
this
if they're
one
the
niche.
same
Well, yeah,
level,
not
but-
same
Well, I
level,
think they're the
but
same level for the
they're
fact that they're
comparable.
both realistic human beings.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
they're comparable in the way that they're realistic. They have
Well,
a
good
a
thing we were
craft.
only
Yeah.
restricted to movies, though,
Yeah,
not
there we
real
go.
people.
Right,
Because if
right.
you're gonna go into real people, it'd probably be Oppenheimer, who's the smartest stupid person.
Or Einstein. He had help in making the bomb as well.
I mean,
yeah,
you got Elon Musk buying
But
Twitter
Oppenheimer
for
was the
44
main.
billion too.
Oppenheimer was like, "We're doing this shit."
yeah, but Oppenheimer was also like, wasn't he like an alcoholic, like womanizer? So he might have just been like, that might have been like one night where he's like, you want to know how to kick the shit out of those fucking Nazi douchebags? I had this idea where we could just blow up a whole entire city with one bomb. Like,
Yeah.
really, Jay?
They're like, "Listen, we'll try it on.
yeah, man.
We'll try it on the Japanese first, okay?"
Wasn't the first?
because it's not. It's the 1940s and we're all super racist.
yeah.
I can't remember, but wasn't it Einstein's assistant who helped them to split the atom first? It was like a female assistant.
That's why you got to go and see Oppenheimer. 2023. Take note of this, Nolan. We're promoting your movie for absolute free. Please
Yes.
save us from Grifter's Cola,
Yeah.
which once again, Grifter's Cola We got a message here from Kirk, the CEO. If you think that one petty lawsuit will push me out, you have another thing coming. It'll take a goddamn army to get me out of here. Ha ha ha. You peasants will bow to me when I rule the world. Okay, well, that was regretful.
All right, and
As
on that
usual.
note,
On that note, I think that's going to be the end of this podcast. I have been Alec Hamlin from Don't Be Smart, Alec, co-creator. We got Lefty, Nick Daxter, and then we've got producer Nick. Does anybody have anything that they want to go ahead and push? You guys can catch me on TikTok, Don't Be Smart, Alec.
check them out.
YouTube
Good
and
stuff.
Instagram, Alec Hamlin. And go ahead and produce, promote your rapping.
I got nothing to promote right now. But,
got no albums out?
I mean, nothing out really much. I have a little bit on Spotify. But
What
about-
there's
what
more
about-
stuff coming.
What about Instagram? He's just a good guy. You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
should just go ahead and follow him.
Yeah, look him
I
up,
will-
Lefty.
I will have new stuff, and I don't know when these are airing, so I might as well just say there's probably a live performance of me in a studio that will be out in the next, couple months. But that's
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
What about you, producer Nick?
Nothing much.
Nothing. Okay.
Just this. Just the Smart Owl podcast. Watch it.
Well, guys, thank you very much for your time. That's going to be all that we have.
See you next time.